Hey, Sam Dean here, and this is the Plug Your Holes channel on YouTube. And this week we're going to talk about the 10 bands that you need to see this summer on Warped Tour. And I'm going to be accompanied by Brian Radmond.
Hello.
And who's going to be our in the field Warped Tour correspondent all summer long. Are you ready? Last week we said that we're going to be filming this episode in the Philippines, and here's a little bit of proof that we were there. But unfortunately, I had terrible food poisoning and was unable to shoot this video there. So here we are back in Kansas City at the Plug Your Holes headquarters, ready to go. Somebody I'm really stoked on to see this summer is Riff Raff. And you probably already know that if you've ever watched one of these videos before, as I talked about it 2 weeks ago. There's a lot to be said about Riff Raff. I mean, the guy went on G's to Gents, lost horribly, and somehow became the most famous person to ever be on that show. In addition to that, his first name is Horst. I have no disrespect for anybody with that first name. I just have never met somebody with that first name. And if you know anybody with that first name other than Riff Raff, please tell me below, and I'm gonna give that person a high five like you wouldn't believe. In addition to that, he's in a group with Andy Milonakis called Three Loco, which, if anything, is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm just gonna say that. I'm pumped to see him. I know he's gonna put out a huge show this summer, and it's just worth watching. So go watch it.
So the first band that made my list of bands you need to see this summer on Warped Tour is a band called 100th from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They're a melodic hardcore band, so they have a little bit more of a musical, I guess, melodic element to their music rather than just heavy hardcore. They still have those heavy parts, and there's a lot to get down to. Make sure you check them out. They're super fun to watch, a lot of high energy. Make sure you make at least a few minutes to cruise by their set. I know it's kind of tough to see all the bands you want to see with your day on Warped Tour, but they're definitely a band you need to stop by and check out at least for a little bit.
I was actually going to make Riff Raff every single one of these, so number 2 was going to be Riff Raff. But I felt that somehow I'd be cheating. But it would be hilarious to make Riff Raff every single one of these just for the sake of comic value. But no, here it is. One band that I'm super pumped on is Paris. They're from Lowell, Massachusetts. And last summer they did Warped Tour on the Ernie Ball stage, impressed so many people that they have since been on tour with Mayday Parade, Pierce the Veil, and Sleeping with Sirens. They're going to kick ass all summer long, and if you're not there to watch it, you're probably missing out.
The next band on my list is a band from Cincinnati, Ohio called Boy Meets World. They're a pop punk band, and although they're not doing anything terribly groundbreaking, they're really good at what they do. Not to mention those guys are some of the hardest working dudes out there. A lot of them worked on the catering staff for Warped Tour for the past few years, serving food to all the bands, just kind of busting ass so they can try to do everything they can to get on. And they've managed to get on this year for the entire tour. So make sure you stop by and check them out. I'm sure they'll be on the Kevin Stead stage or something like that. But check them out. They're definitely worth your time, and they're super, super solid.
Have you heard of Crossfaith before? They're from Osaka, Japan, and they're pretty amazing. They managed to tour with all these crazy huge bands like Bring Me the Horizon in the UK and Australia and Japan, but somehow seem to kind of miss the mark here in the United States. They're a band that deserves to be recognized for their amazing music if you're into metalcore. They sort of have this dancey core feel to them, but not in an obnoxious way. It's really easy for something like that to become kind of ignorant real quick. They really do the whole dance metal fusion thing very well, and they're just really awesome Japanese dudes. So give them high fives when you see them and watch their band, because they're awesome.
The next band on my list is a band from Toledo, Ohio called Citizen. They're maybe kind of considered a emo or grungy sort of band if you want to kind of put a blanket term over it, maybe like very loosely pop punk, I guess. But they have a bit of a 90s grungy feel to them. Definitely check them out. Very heartfelt music. Again, they're really, really fun to watch, and they kind of make sure to project themselves when they play. So definitely worth your time. Make sure you stop by and see Citizen. Also, they have a new record coming out this summer on Warped Tour. So stop by and pick yourself up a copy because it's going to be incredible.
So I'm gonna be honest with the next one. I don't like this band at all. It's weird that it makes it on the list, and you're gonna think I'm insane for even talking about it, but it's Census Veil, and they're from New Jersey. And at a point when they blew up, every band seemed to be from New Jersey, and they were on Drive-Thru, and I liked a ton of the bands on Drive-Thru at the time, and I just never liked Census Veil, and I don't know what it was about it. And then I heard a new song from them very recently, and all of a sudden they sound like Terror. I don't know what's going on, but I'm very intrigued. They're doing it well, and I want to see if they do it well on stage. We're talking about a band that's been a band for 13 years, completely changing their sound, and I think that it at least deserves a little bit of respect that they're doing something different, which could completely alienate every single one of their existing fans. I highly recommend you check them out. Judge for yourself. I have no idea, but this comes down to one of those mystery bands. It could be great, it could be terrible, but I highly recommend you go watch them just for the sake of judging for yourself.
The next band on my list is probably, well, easily the most important band you need to see this summer. It's H2O from New York. The band's been around since 1995, and bands like this are what Warped Tour was founded on. They're definitely, you know, one of the legendary hardcore bands from the time, and they're still putting out good records. So if you're seeing this video and you've never heard of H2O, log on to Spotify and just pick any song. Start with whatever, it's all good. Just get into it. They're one of those bands that you need to see to kind of get a glimpse into what Warped Tour was and still continues to be. So make sure you check out H2O at least, like I said, at least a little bit of their set this summer. I'm sure you will not be disappointed.
This next band is a band that I actually heard of when I was in Australia a few years ago because they're all over the radio. The band is Amity Affliction, and they're from Brisbane, Australia. They formed 12 years ago and somehow have not really broken through in the States the way that they have in other countries. I really, really like them. They kick a whole lot of ass, and I think that you need to check them out this summer on Warped Tour and have your mind blown.
The next band on my list is probably one of my favorite bands playing this summer. It's Being as an Ocean from California. They have a nice mixture of heavy, melodic, soft, and just huge parts. Definitely a little bit of something for everyone. They are maybe think like a heavier lot of Spute, maybe. But definitely check them out. Every time I've seen them, they've blown me away. So make sure you stop by, pick something up from them, and check them out.
As always, I'm Sam Dean, and if you want to follow me in my travels, you can do so by clicking or following or whatever it takes to do things on the internet below. I don't know how this whole thing works. I just stand here in front of the camera. And this guy over here is Brian Radmond. Brian, what do you got to say?
Again, I'm Brian Radmond, and this is the Plug Your Holes channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought of our list. There's a lot of bands we didn't have time to include. 68, This Wild Life, Set It Off, Koji, just to name a few. We'll be out there every single day. I'm going to try to put out one of these videos every single day. We're going to try to get some cool interviews, some insight on our stupid lives, kind of just what we're up to, and give you a little insight on a different city's Warped Tour every single day. So let us know. If there's anything you want to see from us, let us know. Follow us, holler at us, tweet at us, all that good stuff. Bring us candy and bring us high fives. We're going to love all of it. You're going to see me, Sam, Wally, the whole crew. It'll be great. Back to you, Sam.
Anyway, that's this week's video, and I thank you for watching it. Be well, and watch the next one. Cheers. This is your red pill moment. Subscribe to this channel, follow us, like us, do whatever it takes, but we're always going to be producing content whether you're watching it or not. So I highly recommend that you do so, and if you don't say I didn't warn you. And in the meantime, I'll see you this summer on Warped Tour, and if you're not in the United States and not going to Warped Tour, well, I'll see you somewhere else. And high fives all around. By the way, if I see you in public, I swear to God, you better high five me, because I'm